y'all, this is Martha K. Hope y'all are well. Got some stories I want to share with you, not to alarm you, but to keep you abreast of what's going on in the country so that it will help you prepare spiritually as well as naturally. So there's been a lot of reports all over the internet, videos, and then I saw this story on Hal Turner, a radio show's website, and it was posted on the 17th. It's been updated fairly regularly, but about military equipment being set up and moved throughout the country in a lot of cities. And this coincides with a lot of businesses and cities being held hostage through cyber attacks. So if you remember early in January when them folks met in Davos, they were talking about a cyber pandemic. And then, they just knew it was coming. They knew it was coming. It's going to come. It's going to be bad. It's going to be worse than the Rona. And so I just find the timing of the announcements of the cyber stuff going on, in addition to the military equipment moving, it's just weird. Excuse me. And also, I just want to, for a note, in the summertime, the National Guard, they train for 2 weeks at different times, and so a lot of the equipment that people are seeing moved are the National Guard doing their regular 2-week exercises. Now, are those exercises likely more intense because of what is expected? Maybe they know something that we don't know. Possibly, it's highly possible. But putting on my tinfoil hat here, I think that all this stuff, this moving of tanks and all these other things around the country on trains, you'll see. I'm not going to play any other videos, but I'll leave the link to this story in the description so that you can look at it for yourself. A compilation of all the things that have been either sent in or grabbed up and documented, that this moving of stuff at this time is really interesting. So either they're doing some really intensive training because they think there's going to be a threat here, or they're planning on sending this stuff abroad and they're just moving it, which means when it's time for us to fight, if there's anything happening here at home, we don't have anything. And so that's my biggest takeaway or concern, is that the country will not have equipment here because they've sent it all to Europe. And then, part of it is biblical prophecy. In order for Babylon to fall, Babylon can't fight. So because we're here in the belly of the beast, we need to understand what is going on and plan and prepare, because we are going to be impacted. And I don't hear a lot of Black people talking about this kind of stuff, which is really nerve-wracking to me. But, people can seek out all the other stuff that they want to seek out. They want to, be in DMs, courting and texting each other and getting their narcissistic supply from one another, from whatever means they do it. Like, there's just no excuse at this point. Everybody has a phone. Everybody has access to the internet. You can look for stuff if you want to look for it. We do well looking for things that we don't need to access. That's not important. We are overly concerned about superficial things, but not the things that really matter. And so as these things occur, a lot of times these things don't occur in our communities because we're not always living close to military bases. We don't always pay attention to things like this, movement of military equipment. We don't even really know anything about, you know, laws concerning how much the military is able to move and do on U.S. soil. So it's really scary to see how ignorant Black people are, and I'm just gonna keep it real. It helps me to understand why there's only a remnant saved, and I'm just gonna keep it real. A lot of us are not gonna make it. A lot of us live in places that are sacrificial cities. I keep talking about them sacrificial cities for a reason. Um, and I also include a link to the End of the World Ministries latest video. Is He does a really good compilation of what's happening here on U.S. soil, what's happening around the globe. And I ain't even got into Gog and Magog. That's a discussion that I need to do with Watchman Nehemiah. But you need to pay attention what's happening, what's going on in the Middle East with Iran and Israel, because that is also biblical. It's prophecy. And a lot of things are happening over there that will impact the whole globe, because that's going to be the seed of Satan. So we have so many things that we need to be paying attention to that's going on here in the States. And so I want to share this information with you, and then hopefully you'll be able to make some informed decisions about how you need to get your houses in order and in no short fashion. There's also, I can't remember, it's the summer solstice or something that's going on with the sun on June 21st. And so they're expecting a lot of things to happen, like power outages, like internet outages, and possible cyber attacks. I'm just saying. So you need to be trying to do all the stuff that we've been talking about, making sure your devices are charged, making sure you don't have a whole lot of electronics plugged up so that they'll be fried if they're in the socket. Make sure you have all of your documents, documents of bank records, mortgage statements, anything like that of importance that you store digitally. Get all that stuff out of the clouds, because if anything happens, if anything is locked down or shut down, you won't be able to access it. If companies refuse to do ransom and it impacts you, you won't be able to access your information. And we don't know what's going on. So, like, this is really not the time to be playing around and be like, oh, I got time. Time is running out for us. So, we are the group that has the least amount of power, and we're always last to know. And I just want us to be on top of things. People who follow this channel, I don't have the energy right now to even keep talking about our people and the stuff that we're doing, the stuff that we're concerned about. But everybody has to come to their own understanding in their own time. I hope, for our sake, we're not going to be one of the ones who learn too late. All right, so let's get into this. So it says updated again, 8:12 p.m. Tanks and troops deploying inside USA and Canada. So it says citizens in many areas of the USA are startled that tanks, troops, assault aircraft are being deployed on the streets throughout USA today, Saturday, June 17th. Video below shows tanks on highways of Idaho. Excuse the loud noise. I'm sitting next to a window in the front room. Of Idaho Osprey helicopters dropping Marines in California residential neighborhoods and trainloads of military armor moving in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. I'm sorry. We begin in Larkspur, California, where United States Marine Corps' Osprey aircraft are dropping troops into residential neighborhoods. Now, I lived in Florida, I want to say maybe 2 years ago. They were doing a lot of exercises around military bases, um, in water, and it was a big deal, but like people really weren't paying attention to it because it was around election time and everybody was wrapped up in the Trump and Biden drama. So people missed it, but they've been doing military exercises for a long time, like almost 3 years now. So, what people are seeing now is like the tail end of what they've been doing. Larkspur, California is shown on the scalable map below and gives the highway direct control over the 101 highway into and out of San Francisco via the Golden Gate Bridge, as well as the I-580 highway. So, he's showing you basically, I guess, you know, um, where this place is on the map in proximity to, if they're trying to keep you from getting in and out of places, if they are sacrificial cities, if they are close to water and, they're expecting something to happen. So you kind of have to think of this in a couple of different ways. But anyway, the maps are really helpful to show you the proximity of what's happening and also that there are no military bases close by. So this video is also showing up on social media today as seen. So they have some Twitter posts this person posted. It says, next we received video from people living in Idaho showing a group of MEM 109 self-propelled artillery operating on the roads of Idaho Falls, Idaho. Not on flatbed trailers being moved, but instead actually operating on the public roads. Let's see if I can. So I don't know. I have no way of vetting any of this stuff. So again, take it for what it's worth. But these things were multiple places, so you can go on social media and look and vet for yourself. It says Idaho Falls is shown on the scalable map. Idaho Falls puts the military in direct control of the I-15 highway, which is the main route for much of the northwestern USA. So if you go down and look at the scalable map, there it is. These images are also being shared on social media today. Lastly, for now, we show video of a train full of military armor and other equipment has moved into Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and stopped for unloading. So these are tanks. Why is Canada putting military hardware into one of the largest cities on a Saturday? I have spoken to several military sources who tell me this is not a drill. Drills get advertised, which is true. When they get ready to have a drill, like the drills they were doing a couple of years ago, they were advertised. They were on television. The news was showing people coming up out of the water. Um, you saw the soldiers on the beach and everything was cleared off. It was planned out and you knew you got a warning. Even if you didn't get like advance warning, it was still on the news because people were talking about it. Nobody's talking about this. So it's some poops on the line, y'all. Drills get advertised. These were not. This is war prep. Here in North America, something wicked this way comes. Hope you have emergency food, water, medicine, generator for electric, fuel that for that generator, communications gear like CB or ham radio. Also have some cash money from an ATM because if the SHTF credit and debit cards may not work, ATMs may be down, and without cash, you'll be SOL. You know what that means. If you need food or fuel until this blows over, more if I get it. More info is coming in. Below, an image of part of a military convoy on the freeway in Los Angeles. So, these things like this don't necessarily surprise me because, again, it's summertime and you may see Humvees on the road because National Guard units are going to train someplace, and we're not privy to where they train. We're not privy to what they do, but I know they go train for 2 weeks because my dad was in the military, served in 2 wars, was in the reserves for like 26 years. So, and I also have friends who were in the military and also in the National Guard reserves. Actually, Watchman Nehemiah was in the reserves for, I think he said like 17 years. Wow. So he would be able to also talk to you about some of the things that you could expect and what's normal during the summertime, during the training, and what's not. So I'll see if I can get him to come and talk to us about, what we can expect or what you see or what you may be seeing and what's normal and what's not normal. And feel free, if you have been in the military, active duty or reserve, if you've seen conflict, please feel free to leave something in the comments to share with other people who watch this content, so that we'll have an idea of what is normal and what is eye racing. All right, it says so below, military aircraft in the skies low in northwestern Arizona near the New Mexico border. And so somebody says, as a former member of the 4th Tanks, I could tell you this is not a training exercise. We train at firing ranges, not on public streets. And it's on the streets downtown Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So they have tanks on the streets in Philly. And this is from social media, troops with weapons on the Hollywood Boulevard in Hollywood, California. So publishers note this video, although posted on social media today, turned out to be from the George Floyd protest in 2020. It is not related to all of the other videos, so I have deleted this Hollywood Boulevard troops video from the story. Okay, so he says this is not. But what's interesting though is that they put troops in Hollywood on the streets when nothing was happening in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? So I've been informed of buses being shuttled around the military escorts, around with military escorts and black SUV caravans. Use your camera and make sure we all see it. And it says, update, it says from San Diego earlier this week. So they have military aircraft flying over. Flash bulletin, covert intel. This information is for subscribers only. Public info will resume beneath the green box. Okay, so you can't see this unless you pay Hal some money. All right. So more images coming in immediately below Highway 20 in South Carolina. I know where this is, but to me, this looks like a reserve equipment being moved. Not saying that it's not for any other reasons, but this is what I'm accustomed to seeing in the summertime. So now we have received this from Corning, New York, upstate. Some more military equipment. looks like stuff from reserve units because it's like not. It just looks old, and I hate to say old and dusty, but it looks like stuff that they train with in the summertime. Stuff that if you drive by reserve bases in your county, there's stuff that you will see, old military equipment that they have for units that train station in county national reserves units. More military convoys. This one in Pennsylvania, the trucks clearly carrying rolls of razor wire. This is used to keep people in or out. This is crowd control stuff. So, and this says below video from Bakersfield, California, with military vehicles showing they are equipped with active denial sound system weapon. These huge speakers emit certain sounds and oscillations which instantly make people sick, cause them to vomit or pass out. And I wrote about these a couple of years ago, but my stuff got taken down. So I don't think it was maybe about 2 years ago, because they were using this stuff during the George Floyd protest, and that's from my understanding when they started trying this stuff out on U.S. citizens and people didn't know. So there's a lot on this site, a lot of videos. I don't want to, prolong. Excuse me, I'm sorry. My allergies are really bad. So I don't want to prolong this and make things more drawn out than they have to be. I just want you to take your time, go through this video. You can search social media for other info, see what's legit and what's not legit. But I can attest to, for the last year, I live in the bushes and I hear Chinook helicopters flying over the house. And we don't live close to a military base. Now, we do have National Guard bases close by, but in all my years, I've never heard this much activity all year long. It's not like it's the summertime and they're training. It's like literally like you live close to a military base. And if you've ever stayed on a military base, if you ever lived close to a military base, you know the difference. So my ex-husband was retired military. I got family that has been in the military. I've been on military bases, stayed on military bases, Air Force bases, Air Reserve bases, Army bases. And when there's aircraft movement, it's really loud. So you can't miss it. It's not like an airplane or a crop duster. It's different. It shake your house. You know what it is. And when it flies low, you really know, because it's like, what is going on? So pay attention to what's going on in your cities and towns. If you've seen any activity, share it in the comments. If you've heard anything, let us know, because this channel is all about keeping people in the know and prepared for what's coming. All we can do is try to wake up our people and wipe the dirt off our feet, wipe the dust, keep moving. A lot of our people going to find out what's going on and what time it is when it is too late. And, I'm tired, really. I'm tired of seeing us look so crazy. I hate to say I'll be glad when something happens to wake people up. It seems like, our people don't get it until it is time to, just when it's too late. So, in one instance, our spirits are in sync and we're like, no, I ain't feeling that. But when it comes to preparedness and talking about the things that are really coming on this earth and how we're being sabotaged from the inside out, like people just can't believe that. But that's what's happening. So just continue to prep, continue to keep watch, continue to pray and seek the Most High for discernment during this hour. Do repentance daily and pray to be found worthy to escape all that is coming upon this earth. The 400-year curse is over, and Babylon is falling. We're in the heart of Babylon. We're in the belly of the beast. And so we must be aware of what is happening at all times because we are here. Ain't no such thing as, oh, we're just going to close our eyes and we're going to be in the sky. No, you're going to go through some things. We're going to go through some things before we leave here. And some of us going to not make it because we're not prepared. And that's intentional too. So the Most High only wants those who want Him, who's seeking after Him, who listen to Him, and who can hear Him. And while He's giving us all an opportunity to get it right, a lot of people are not even trying. So read your prophecy. It's coming to pass. All right, y'all. This is Marla Kay, and I am out.